Everyone keeps saying the Samsung Galaxy A07 is the best phone in this price range. It has the best performance, the best software, the best display. But here's the thing. I didn't come into this phone like a normal user. So I've used flagship like the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra and also the 16 Pro Max, which I'm using to shoot this video. So my expectations when getting this phone is completely different. This is not a budget user or entry level user review. This is what does an entry level phone feel like after using the best phone in the market. So let's talk about it. When it comes to design, honestly, this is something I didn't expect to notice this much. The design and the way this phone feels in the hand. On paper, the Samsung Galaxy A07 is simple. Plastic back, plastic frame, glass front around 184 grams, slim body at about 7.6 mm. So there is nothing premium here. But in real life, guys, this is where my experience got interesting. I mistake my S25 Ultra sometimes for the A07 and vice versa when I had them in a case. No joke, when they are side by side, the size and overall feel are surprisingly close. But the moment you pick them up, that's when it really hits you. The A07 is actually lighter and you can feel it instantly. It doesn't have that dense premium weight you get from flagship phones with material like titanium or aluminium. It feels simpler, not cheap and not premium. Now, let's talk about something a lot of people overlook, the fingerprint sensor. This one is side mounted, built into the power button. And honestly, I actually like it. My previous phone, my previous Redmi phone, right, also had this, side-mounted fingerprints infused with the power button. Just pick up your phone and you unlock it, no stress. The fingerprint on the A07 is fast, is reliable, and it just works. Although I've noticed some delay once in a while. But remember, I am speaking from a place after using the ultrasonic in-screen fingerprint sensor. But if you've used entry phones or budget phones, I doubt if you're going to notice any delay. Now, for the performance, guys, this phone actually surprised me. This phone plays Call of Duty and eFootball. I mean, this entry-level phone plays both games, no cap. I was mind-blown, honestly. On paper, this phone looks basic. MediaTek chip, 4GB, but in real life, this is what matters. So I jumped straight into Call of Duty Mobile, and honestly, I expected it to feel slow. But here's what surprised me. The Galaxy A07 didn't feel broken. Let's be real, it is not as fast as my flagship over here. Okay, on phones like this, we get games that open instantly. Frame rate stays ultra stable. Everything feels effortless, right? But on the A07, you can still play smoothly if you set it right. Low graphics plus high frame rate gives you the best experience. And once you do that, it's actually enjoyable. Now, here's the difference. Flagship phones gives you power without thinking. This phone requires optimization to perform well. That's the gap. But for the price, it is actually impressive because this is like 10 times more expensive than this. So I can't even expect them to be the same feel in terms of the whole performance. Now, let's talk about the daily use because this is where I noticed the biggest difference. So I'm actually used to instant app switching, zero reload, insane speed. But the A07, you feel the limits, not in a bad way, just in a realistic way. Apps reload sometimes, switching isn't instant. Heavy tasks take longer. But here's the key point. This phone will still get the job done. Even video exporting, which is one of the hardest tasks, it is still possible on this phone. Yes. Flagship phones does it faster and even better. But this phone, it takes its time. Now, this is where Samsung wins. And I'll say this confidently, even after using the iPhone 16 Pro Max. Because yes, iPhones are smooth and optimized. But Samsung's One UI, it is more flexible. The Galaxy A07 runs Android 16 with One UI 8. And compared to other budget phones, this feels premium. It has clean UI, minimal bloatwares, smooth animation. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Even though this is a budget phone or even an entry-level phone, you still get features inspired by flagship devices. We have AI tools, smart assistants, circle to search. These are the same kind of smart features you get on premium devices like the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra. And that is crazy, but the biggest difference is the longevity. Samsung is offering up to 6 years of updates. That means this phone could outlast most budget devices easily. So while performance isn't flagship level, of course, you're not paying a flagship price. I'll talk about your pricing later. The software experience it feels way closer than expected. Now, let's talk about the display. And this is where my experience really kicked in. Now, coming to the A07, we have the LCD display in 90Hz refresh rate, 1080p. On paper, it sounds like a downgrade, and yes, it is. But here's the surprising part. It doesn't feel bad. Samsung's display tuning helps a lot. Colors are still punchy, brightness is usable outdoors, 90Hz still feels kind of smooth, right? But if you've used a flagship phone, you're going to notice less sharpness, less brightness, less wow once you're watching or doing anything with the display. Also, the notch on this phone, come on now, Samsung, this feels outdated, especially when other brands are giving punch hole displays, 120Hz refresh rates. So guys, here's the truth. This has a good, or what I say, decent display, but it is not class leading anymore. Now, for the camera on the Samsung Galaxy A07, what can this phone take? Well, I'm going to keep it simple. This phone, the cameras are decent when it comes to shooting in daylight or when you have good lighting. Okay, it has an average processing, but if you're shooting in low lights, it is going to be very weak. So the rule is simple. If you want to get the best out of this camera on this phone, make sure you have proper lighting. Go use the sun, use your ring light or something. Okay, because if you don't have a good lighting, do not expect any miracle from this phone. So guys, this is the camera quality on the Samsung Galaxy A07. We're looking at this, honestly, it's somehow because I'm using the S25 Ultra, using the 16 Pro Max, I'm using the COD Pixel, so now using this, the quality is just somehow for me. But right, if you are used to all those budget phones, what do you think of this? Let me know in the comment section. I'm not using any microphone, so you let me know if the microphone is also good. This is selfie camera, right? After this, I switch to the rear camera, so you can also see how it is. I also take some pictures and even probably take videos in low light, so you can see how bad it's going to be. Because yeah, when it comes to budget phones, low light is very, very poor. But I'll also just show you so you can see for yourself. Let's switch to the back camera right now. Alright, so this is the rear camera on the Samsung Galaxy A07. Then the previous one was the selfie camera. So just let me know what you think of this. When I watched the video of the on the selfie camera, I'm like, oh, I didn't even know what to say about the camera quality, but I want you guys to tell me in the comments your thoughts on them. Okay, so after this, I'm going to now test out your some picture quality too, and also in low lights, so we can see how it is. So guys, this is the video in low lights. Yes, I'm using the rear camera. So once you see the rear camera, you should have an idea of what a selfie camera should look like, because you know the rear camera is always more powerful than the selfie camera. So what do you guys think of this? I'll show you the pictures in low light also. I want to hear your thought about the whole camera in the comment section. All right. It's not, so me, like I said, based on where the phones I've used, it is not so nice. I'll just say it's decent. It's just there based on the price. You understand? Looking at the price and oh yeah, it's decent. But I'm waiting for you guys in the comments. For the battery and design, the battery on this phone is solid, 5000 mAh. I don't really have so much complaint. But now when it comes to the charging, I'm used to fast charging and this is quite slow. So flagship phones and even some budget competitors are pushing faster charging speeds. And for the design, it is simple. No titanium, no premium feel like flagship, just clean and minimal. And honestly, this is still sleek. You can even use this phone without a case and it still looks premium. Let's talk about the price, because this is one of the biggest factors when deciding if the Samsung Galaxy A07 is actually worth buying or you should just dodge it. Right now in Nigeria, the Galaxy A07 4GB RAM or 128GB storage is going for around 150 to 165,000 naira in most markets, and some vendors sell their own slightly more expensive. When this phone first launched, you could get it around 130,000 naira, especially during the early promos and initial stock arrival. So yes, the price has gone up since the launch. But I'm talking about if it is worth it, guys. 150 to 165k for all these things I said. It's actually very nice though. But here's the real question. After using the best phones in the world, would I still recommend the Samsung Galaxy A07 to you if you have just 150 to 165k to spend on the phone? Yes, but for a different reason. Not because it is the most powerful, not because it has the best display, but because it is balanced where it really matters. And when you adjust your expectations, this phone actually makes sense. Remember, you are on a budget. So guys, let me know in the comment section if you be going for the Samsung Galaxy A07 today, or if you already have one self, let me know your experience in the comments. Alright, and don't forget guys, to give the video a thumbs up if you found it useful, and make sure you are subscribed to my channel for more honest reviews like this. And as always, when buying any phone today, I want you guys to what? Stay sharp, stay smart, smart tips.